He never expected his boss to turn the tables on him. The office lights dimmed to their automatic night setting at exactly 8:30 p.m. Alex Thompson saved the final version of the Q3 media plan and closed his laptop with a soft click. The open plan floor stretched dark and empty around him. Only Elena's corner office still glowed with warm desk lamp light. He stood, slung his messenger bag over one shoulder, and started toward the elevators. "Alex!" Her voice stopped him mid-step. He turned. Elena Vargas stood in her doorway, arms loosely folded, blouse sleeves pushed to her elbows. Her usual perfect chignon had loosened, a few strands framed her face. She looked almost human. "Got a minute?" she asked. He nodded once and walked back. She stepped aside so he could enter. The office smelled of bergamot tea gone cold and the faint metallic tang of electronics running too long. "Sit," she said, gesturing to the guest chair. He sat. She remained standing a moment, then dropped into her own seat with a small exhale. She picked up her phone, stared at the screen, then set it face down. "I'm about to ask something mortifying," she said. Alex waited. She flipped the phone over. The screen woke to a dating app profile. He recognized the layout instantly. She slid the device across the polished wood toward him. "Read it. Be honest." He picked it up. Professional headshot. Charcoal blazer, arms crossed, confident half-smile. Bio. Accomplished marketing executive. Strategic thinker, seeking genuine connection. "No time wasters, please." 2 additional photos, same headshot, different crops. He scrolled the prompts. Ideal Sunday, reviewing quarterly forecasts and planning ahead. He looked up. She was watching him steadily. "How long has this been live?" he asked. 7 weeks, 4 days. Matches? 12, 2 conversations, 1 date. He raised an eyebrow. "The date lasted 93 minutes, she said. He talked about yield curves for 87 of them. Alex let a small breath escape, almost a laugh. "I can close multi-million-dollar deals," she continued. "But I clearly cannot write 60 words that make a stranger want coffee with me." He set the phone down gently. "You want help rewriting it? I want you to fix it, completely, brutally if necessary." He studied her. In 4 years, she had never asked him for anything personal. She delegated, directed, demanded. This was different. "Okay," he said. "I'll need to know more about you. The real you, not the LinkedIn version." She gave a tiny nod. "First question," he said. "What makes you laugh until it hurts?" She blinked. "That's not on the profile." "Exactly," she thought. "My dog," she said finally. "Rufus, when he chases his tail in a perfect circle then flops over like he's been shot. Every time I've filmed it, I still laugh like an idiot." Alex pulled out his own phone and opened notes. He typed. "Keep going," he said. She hesitated, then continued. He asked about movies that made her cry. "Inside Out 2, she answered immediately. "The part where anxiety spirals. I had to pause because I couldn't see the screen." He smiled faintly. He asked about guilty pleasure songs. She admitted to still knowing every lyric to No Doubt's Tragic Kingdom. He asked about the meal she could eat forever. Fresh flour tortillas, salted butter, nothing else. He asked about childhood humiliations. She told him about auditioning for Annie in the school cafeteria line full-throated tomorrow at 8 years old. He typed steadily. She confessed missing a Frankfurt connection, because she bought 6 paperbacks in the airport bookstore and lost track of time. He asked why she still had a landline. "My mother calls it every Sunday at 6:45 a.m., she said. I refused to give her the mobile again." He laughed, quiet, surprised. She smiled back, small but real. Time slipped. The city outside the windows had become solid black. He read the first rough draft aloud. "Elena, 44, CEO who believes the best ideas arrive after midnight with terrible coffee. Can run a boardroom or a 5K, usually both in 1 week. Terrible dancer, excellent playlist curator. Dog mom to the clumsiest golden retriever alive. Looking for someone who won't mind West Wing quotes mid-argument and who speaks sarcasm fluently. Bonus if you've seen Event Horizon and didn't hate it. Skip the small talk, tell me the last song that wrecked you." She listened without moving. When he finished, she stayed silent for almost 30 seconds. "That sounds like me," she said quietly. "That's the goal." She reached for the phone. Her fingers brushed his knuckles as she took it. Neither commented. I need better photos, she said. These headshots are killing me. May I see your camera roll? She unlocked the phone again and passed it back. He scrolled past mood boards, ad mock-ups, competitor tear sheets. Then the real ones appeared. Elena laughing on a windy rooftop during last year's retreat. Elena kneeling in mud beside Rufus after a sudden rain, both soaked and grinning. Elena in an oversized university hoodie, flour on her cheek, stirring sauce on the stove. Elena on her balcony at twilight, city lights soft behind her, wine glass in hand. He selected 8. These, he said. She looked at the grid. I look messy in most of them. You look alive. She swallowed. Okay, use them, he uploaded. He cropped one so her smile filled more of the frame. He added short, honest captions, the profile refreshed. It felt warmer, real. She stared at the screen. Thank you, she whispered. He stood. You're welcome. Just don't mention yield curves on the first date. She laughed soft, surprised, unguarded. He turned toward the door. Alex? He paused. She was still seated, phone cradled in both palms. If this actually works, she said, I owe you dinner, a proper one. Not office takeout, he gave a small smile. Let's see if anyone survives the sarcasm filter first. She smiled back, tentative, bright. He walked to the elevator bank. The hallway lights flickered on as he passed motion sensors. Behind him, in the quiet office, Elena opened the app once more. She studied the new version of herself. For the first time in years, the tiny spark in her chest felt like something that might actually catch. He never expected his boss to turn the tables on him. The following Monday morning, Alex arrived at his desk 10 minutes early, still replaying Friday night in his head. Elena's laugh, unexpected, unguarded, kept surfacing like a song he couldn't shake. He opened his laptop, answered 3 urgent emails, then felt his phone buzz against his thigh. Unknown number. No, not unknown. Her personal line. He opened the message. Elena, they're replying. A lot. Attached was a screenshot. 12 new matches since Saturday afternoon. Alex stared at the numbers. He typed back. Told you the sarcasm filter would work. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared, appeared again. Elena, half of them are already asking for nudes, the other half want to know my body count. Delete the app? Alex, give it 24 hours. Quality over quantity, Elena. You're hired as my official profile manager. He smiled at the screen. The rest of the morning passed in a blur of meetings and mock-ups. At 1:17 p.m. another text arrived. Elena, this one says he's financially secure and emotionally available. Then sent a photo of his yacht. Should I reply, cool, my dog has better sea legs? Alex snorted so loudly the junior copywriter 2 cubicles over glanced up. He replied, tell him you prefer rowboats and loyalty. Rufus would approve. She sent back a laughing emoji, the first he'd ever seen from her, that evening. After picking Mia up from after-school care, Alex settled her with crayons and a bowl of goldfish crackers. His phone lit again. Elena went on the first date from the new profile. Drinks at the observatory. Alex and Elena, he was 42 going on 14. Kept calling me boss lady. I left after 1 martini. Alex. Next, Elena. Already unmatched. The pattern began without either of them naming it. Every evening after Mia was bathed and read to. After the apartment lights were dimmed to just the lamp beside the couch, Alex's phone would glow with Elena's name. She sent drafts of opening messages she'd received. He sent back edits, sharper, warmer, funnier. She sent post-date debriefs and bullet points. He sent escape plan suggestions. 1. Tuesday she texted at 10:42. P.M. Elena, he asked if I roleplay CEO and intern. I told him I roleplay adult human and left. Alex, solid exit strategy. Gold star. Elena, your turn. What's the worst message you ever got? He thought, then typed. Guy asked if my daughter came with the package or if he could get a discount without her. Elena. Jesus, I'm sorry. Dalek's ancient history. Mia's worth every swipe left. A long pause. Elena. She sounds like the best part of your life. Alex, she is. Another pause. Elena. Thank you for doing this with me. I know you have a lot on your plate. Alex, I don't mind. It's nice talking. To someone who isn't asking for mac and cheese with extra cheese at 2 a.m. Elena noted, no mac and cheese requests tonight. He smiled into the dark living room. Wednesday, she sent a voice. Note first time, her voice was softer than in meetings. A little tired. 2 dates this week. One guy spent 40 minutes explaining blockchain. The other cried when I said I didn't want kids. I'm batting 0, coach. Alex listened twice before replying. He sent his own voice note back quiet so he wouldn't wake. Mia, you're not batting 0. You're filtering. There's a difference. Keep going. She replied with text. You're kinder than I deserve. He didn't know how to answer that. Thursday evening, she appeared in the office. Break room while he was microwaving Mia's leftover spaghetti for lunch. Elena leaned against the counter in her navy blazer, hair in its usual tight knot. Thought I'd find you here, she said. He raised an eyebrow. Stalking now? Strategic observation? She smiled faintly. I brought reinforcements. She slid a paper bag across the counter. Inside, 2 still warm empanadas from the Argentinian place 3 blocks away. Payment for services. She said he took one, bit in. Let the spiced beef and flaky pastry distract him from how close she was standing. They're good. He managed. I know a guy. She took the other empanada. Listen, I got another match. Seems normal. Dinner tomorrow, thoughts? Alex wiped his mouth with a napkin. Send me his profile. She did. He read it while she watched. Bio was short, photos clear. No red flags. Jumping out. Looks safe, Alex said. Safe is boring, she replied. Safe is a start. She nodded slowly. Friday came. He didn't hear from her until 11:19 p.m. Elena. Home. Alone. Again. Alex. Bad. Elena. Polite. Boring. He asked permission to order for me. I ordered for myself. He looked wounded. I tipped the server extra and left. Alex, you're allowed to want more than polite, Elena. I know. I just don't know what more looks like. Anymore. He stared at the message a long time. Mia was asleep down the hall. Breathing soft and even. Alex typed, more looks like someone who laughs at your dog videos. Someone who doesn't need you to perform. Someone who sees the flower on your cheek and thinks it's beautiful. He deleted the last sentence before sending. Instead he wrote, more exists. You'll find it, Elena, promise? Alex, promise. Saturday morning Mia wanted pancakes. Alex made them, blueberries folded in. While his phone stayed quiet, he told himself that was good. Elena deserved a weekend. Without the app. At 2:37 p.m. the doorbell rang. He opened it expecting the neighbor kid selling cookies. Instead Elena stood there in jeans and a cream sweater. Hair loose around her shoulders, holding 2 large paper bags. Surprise inspection. She said. Mia peeked around his leg. Who's that? Elena crouched to eye level. I'm Elena. I work with your dad. I brought tacos. And tres leches. Is that okay? Mia studied her. Do you like dogs? I have one. He's very clumsy. Mia nodded solemnly. Come in. They ate on the living room floor because the table was covered in Mia's latest art project. Elena kicked off her flats. Sat cross-legged, let Mia show her every drawing. When Mia asked if Elena could braid her hair, Elena said yes without hesitation. Her fingers were careful, gentle. Alex watched from the kitchen doorway, arms folded, feeling something warm and unfamiliar spread behind his ribs. After Mia declared the braid princess level, she ran to her room to get her favorite book. Elena looked up at Alex. Thank you for letting me crash your Saturday. He shrugged. Mia likes you. I like her. Elena paused. And her dad isn't terrible company either. He felt heat climb his neck. Elena stood, brushed crumbs from her jeans. I should go. I have nowhere to be, actually. Alex glanced at the clock. 5:12 p.m. Stay for pizza? He asked. Mia's request. She wants pineapple. I warned her you might judge. Elena laughed. Pineapple belongs on pizza. Fight me. He grinned. Noted. They ordered 2 larges. Mia fell asleep on the couch halfway through the second. Pixar movie. Elena helped Alex carry her to bed. When they returned to the living room, the TV glowed blue. Volume low. Elena sank onto the couch, pulled her knees up. Alex sat at the other end, careful distance. She looked at him sideways. You're good at this, she said. At what? Making people feel seen, not just tolerated. He shrugged again. I try. Silence settled, comfortable. Then she spoke quietly. I canceled tomorrow's date. Alex turned toward her. Why? Because I realized I'd rather be here eating cold pizza and arguing about fruit on dough than sitting across from another stranger who doesn't know my middle name or why. I still keep my mother's old recipe cards in a drawer. He didn't speak, though. She continued. You fixed my profile so I could find someone. But the conversations I look forward to most aren't coming from strangers. They're coming from you. Late at night, over empanadas, on my couch or yours. Alex's. Pulse felt loud in his ears. Elena. She met his eyes. I'm not asking you to fix anything else, she said. I'm just saying, maybe we stop pretending this is only about the app. The room felt smaller. He swallowed. I'm a single dad with a 6-year-old and a mortgage that disagrees with romance. I'm a 44-year-old workaholic who's terrified of screwing this up. They looked at each other. Then she smiled. Small, brave. Why not take the risk, Alex? Not the profile. Us. He exhaled. Reached across the cushion gap. Took her hand. Her fingers closed around his warm, steady. Okay, he whispered. Outside. The city kept moving. Inside. Two people who had spent years managing expectations finally let one small, dangerous hope breathe. He never expected his boss to turn the tables on him. Alex watched the numbers climb from his couch while Mia slept down the hall. By Sunday morning, the app notifications were relentless on Elena's phone. She sent him a screenshot at 7:42 a.m., 47 new matches overnight. Elena, this feels like cheating. Alex, it's called good copywriting. Enjoy the ego boost. Elena, half these men think sarcasm as love language is code for I'm mean but hot. Alex, filter ruthlessly. You wrote the rules. She did. Monday, she unmatched 17 in one sitting. Tuesday, she went on the first real date from the new batch dinner at a small Italian place in the East Village. She texted him during dessert. Elena, he's nice. Actually nice. Asked about Rufus. Remembered I mentioned him in my bio? Alex felt an odd pinch under his ribs. He typed back. Progress. How's the tiramisu, Elena? Overrated. Conversation is better. He stared at the message until the screen dimmed. Wednesday. She sent a voice note at 11:03 p.m. Her voice sounded lighter than usual. Second date tonight. Drinks and tapas. He laughed at my Event Horizon reference. Didn't even flinch when I said I still own the DVD. I might see him again. Alex listened to it twice in the dark. He replied with text because his throat felt tight. Alex, sounds promising. Happy for you. Elena, don't sound so thrilled, Thompson. Alex, I am. Really, he wasn't sure he meant it. Thursday, she canceled the third date 40 minutes before. Elena, he kept calling me babe. I'm 44. I have a corner office. I am not babe. Alex, valid. Next victim. Elena, taking a night off. Wine and silence. You around? Alex, always. She sent a photo 20 minutes later, her bare feet propped on an ottoman, golden retriever sprawled across her lap, half-empty glass of Malbec on the side table. Elena, Rufus says hi. Alex saved the photo before he could think better of it. Friday morning, the entire office felt different. Elena walked past his desk on her way to the 10 a.m. stand-up. She wore the navy dress that always made the junior account exec sit up straighter. When she passed, she dropped a small paper bag on his keyboard. Inside, one perfect alfajor from the bakery she knew he liked. No note, just the pastry wrapped in tissue. De leche and something dangerously close to longing. That afternoon she appeared in the break room while he was refilling his water bottle. He capped the bottle. Impressive batting average. None of them stuck. He met her eyes. Why not? She looked away first. They're fine, polite, attractive enough. They read the profile. They ask follow-up questions. But it feels like I'm interviewing them for a position they don't really want? Alex waited. She continued, voice lower. I keep thinking about what you said that night on my couch. He swallowed. I realized, she said, that I don't want someone who likes the version of me on the app. Asleep watching documentaries about deep-sea creatures. The break room fridge hummed behind them. I canceled tomorrow's date too, she said. Third one this week. The guy was devastated. I wasn't. He exhaled through his nose. She stepped closer, close enough that he could smell bergamot and the faint trace of her shampoo. I want easy. I want real. I want late night. His pulse hammered at the base of his throat. She searched his face. But the person who already sees me, the one who makes me laugh when I'm exhausted, who lets me braid his daughter's hair, who eats cold pizza on the floor like it's fine dining, that person is standing right here. Silence stretched thin between them. Elena, he said again, softer. She didn't move away. Said, I have soccer practices and parent-teacher conferences and a savings account that laughs at spontaneity. The way her mouth tilted when she was nervous. The steady way she held his gaze even when her hands were trembling slightly at her sides. I thought I was finished with this, he admitted. With hoping, with risking. She asked, not as your boss, not as a favor. Just us, no app, no performance. Just you and me and whatever messy thing this might become. His heart slammed against his ribs. She didn't. His fingers found hers, warm, steady. He laced them together. Okay, he whispered. Her breath caught. She smiled, small, brilliant. Terrified. Okay, she echoed. They stood like that for what felt like forever and no time at all. Then she laughed, quiet, shaky. I should probably go before someone walks in and thinks I'm sexually harassing my direct report. He grinned despite himself. Technically, I report to you. So I'd be the one being harassed. Details. No dating app debrief, just me. I'll be waiting. She walked out first. He stayed in the break room until his pulse slowed. That night, Mia drew a picture of a dog and a lady with long hair and a man who looked suspiciously like her dad. She taped it to the fridge. Alex stared at it while he washed dishes. His phone buzzed at 9:51 p.m. Elena. No matches tonight. First time in 2 weeks I haven't opened the app. Alex, how's it feel? Elena, quiet, good quiet. Like I can finally hear myself think. Alex, Rufus keeping you company? Elena, he's snoring on my feet. It's perfect. A pause. Elena, tomorrow night. You, me, no agenda. I'll cook or burn something. Either way. Alex, I'll bring wine. And Mia's favorite ice cream in case she crashes the party. Elena, deal. He set the phone down. Outside, the city lights flickered like distant stars. But neither of them had opened it since that afternoon in the break room. They didn't need to anymore. He never expected his boss to turn the tables on him. The Saturday morning arrived wrapped in the kind of soft November light that makes everything feel possible. Alex woke to the sound of Mia already awake in the next room, humming the tune from the cartoon she'd watched 3 times the night before. He checked his phone. 7:12. A man saw the text from Elena that had come in at 6:49. Elena, Rufus and I are up? Nervous? Because I am. A little. He smiled into the dim bedroom and typed. Back. Only if you count heart palpitations as nervous. See you at 10:30? Elena, wouldn't miss a dot by 10:15? The apartment smelled of fresh coffee and the vanilla he'd added to the pancake batter just in case. Mia had already changed into her favorite purple sweater, the one with the glittery star on the chest stand. Was standing by the window watching for the elevator light when the doorbell rang. She sprinted to answer it before Alex could remind her to wait. Elena stood in the hallway wearing jeans faded at the knees, white canvas sneakers, and a cream-colored knit sweater that looked soft enough to nap in. Her hair was down, loose waves framing her face, and she carried a canvas tote slung over one shoulder. Rufus sat politely at her heel, golden fur gleaming, tail sweeping slow arcs across the doormat. Mia stared up at the dog first. He's bigger. In real life, she whispered. Elena crouched to Mia's level. He's gentle, promise. Want to say hi? Mia nodded once, then extended a small hand. Rufus sniffed it carefully, gave one polite lick, then sat back with an expression that seemed to say, I approve. Mia beamed. He likes me. Of Course he does, Elena said. She looked up at Alex over Mia's head. Morning, morning. He stepped aside. Come in before the hallway neighbors start complaining about the cuteness overload. Elena laughed quiet, easy, and followed Mia inside, Rufus padding behind. They walked to the park together. A small procession, Mia skipping ahead holding Rufus's leash with both hands. Elena and Alex trailing a few steps behind. The sidewalks were scattered with fallen leaves in shades of amber and rust. The air carried the crisp promise of winter without yet delivering the bite. Mia chattered non-stop about the ducks she hoped to see, the slide she wanted to conquer, the way the swings went highest if you pumped your legs just right. Elena listened with complete attention, asking questions that showed she was actually hearing every word. Alex watched them and felt something loosen in his chest he hadn't realized was knotted. At the park entrance, Mia released Rufus's leash. He immediately flopped onto the grass and rolled, tongue-lolling, and bolted toward the playground. Elena unclipped the leash fully and let him trot after Mia at a dignified pace. Alex and Elena found a bench near the swings. Sunlight slanted through the branches, painting moving patterns across their knees. Elena reached into her tote and pulled out a small paper sack. Almond croissants, she said. Still warm. I may have bribed the baker to pull them out of the oven early. Alex took one, tore off a corner, and closed his eyes at the buttery flake and sweet almond paste. You remembered. I pay attention, she said again, softer. This time, they ate slowly while Mia flew back and forth on the swing, Rufus lying beneath her like a golden sentinel. When Mia tired of swinging, she ran to the slide, climbed, slid. Repeated. Elena leaned back against the bench, face tilted toward the sun. This is nice, she said. No agenda, no timeline. Just Saturday, Alex nodded. I forgot Saturdays. Could feel like this. She turned her head toward him. Like what? Like breathing room? Her eyes softened. Mia called from the top of the slide. Lena! Watch me! Elena stood immediately, walked over, clapped and cheered for every descent. When Mia finally declared herself slide champion of the world, she ran back to them, cheeks pink, grass stuck to one elbow. Ice cream? She asked, hopeful. Elena produced a packet of wet wipes from her tote like it was a magic trick. First cleanup, then ice cream. Mia submitted to the wipe down with only minor protest. They walked to the little stand at the park. Gate. Mia chose bubblegum blue because it matches my sweater. Alex got chocolate. Elena surprised them by ordering pistachio. Fancy? Alex teased. Sophisticated palate. She replied with mock seriousness. They sat on the grass under a wide sycamore. Cones in hand, Rufus sprawled between them begging shamelessly for drips. Mia managed to get blue streaks across both cheeks and one RLOBE. Elena wiped them away with gentle swipes, talking softly about how bubblegum ice cream was clearly invented by someone who understood joy. When the cones were gone and Mia's energy began to flag, she curled against Elena's side on the grass. Elena wrapped one arm around her. Without hesitation, Alex watched the two of them, his daughter's head on his boss's shoulder, and felt the world tilt into perfect, fragile alignment. They stayed until the light turned golden and the air cooled. Back at the apartment, Elena helped Mia change into pajamas while Alex ordered pad thai and spring rolls. Mia insisted. Elena read the bedtime story. Elena sat on the edge of the narrow bed, book open on her lap, voice low and melodic. She read about a fox who learned that sharing his burrow made it warmer, not smaller. Mia's eyes drifted closed halfway through. She reached up in her half-sleep and patted Elena's cheek. You can stay, she mumbled. If you want. Elena pressed a kiss to her forehead. I want. Alex waited in the hallway. When Elena stepped out and closed the door with a soft click, the apartment settled into evening quiet. They moved to the living room. Thai food containers spread across the coffee table. No television. No phones, just the two of them on the couch, knees almost touching. Elena spoke first, voice barely above a whisper. I've spent so long building walls, high ones, reinforced concrete. I told myself it was protection, strength, survival. Alex listened. Today I didn't need any of them, she continued. I sat on grass with ice cream dripping down my wrist and your daughter telling me about her favorite color of duck. And I didn't feel exposed. I felt safe. He set his fork down. I stopped believing in anything beyond surviving, he said. After Sarah, I told myself Mia and I were a complete unit, that letting someone else in would only risk breaking what we had left. Elena reached for his hand. He let her take it. But watching you today, he went on, the way you listened. When she talked about her day like it was the most important story ever told. The way you didn't flinch when she smeared blue ice cream on your sweater. The way you looked at me when she fell asleep against you. I realized I've been wrong. For years. Wrong about what? That surviving isn't the same as living. They sat with the weight of that for a long minute. Then Elena laughed soft. Shaky. Technically, she said. I asked you to take me out, not the other way around. He grinned. Semantics. She leaned closer. He met her halfway. The kiss was slow, searching, certain, no rush. No performance. Just the quiet press of mouths, the faint taste of pistachio and soy sauce, the way her fingers curled into the front of his shirt and stayed there. When they parted, foreheads resting together. She whispered, I haven't kissed anyone like that since I was 28. Me neither, he admitted. They stayed on the couch until the city lights turned the windows into mirrors. Conversation drifted work. Childhood memories, small fears they'd never told anyone else. She told him about the night her divorce. Papers arrived, and she sat in her car in the office garage crying until the security guard tapped on the window to ask if she was okay. He told her about the morning he found Sarah's favorite scarf still knotted on the bedpost, and couldn't bring himself to move it. For 6 months, they didn't try to fix the past. They simply shared it. Around midnight, Elena stood to leave. Alex walked her to the door. The threshold she turned. I don't want to rush, she said. But I also don't want to pretend this is casual or temporary or safe, he nodded. Slow, he agreed, but honest. She smiled, that small, brave smile he was already memorizing. Honest, she echoed. She kissed him once more, quick. Sweet, then stepped into the hallway. He watched the elevator numbers descend. The next morning, Mia woke asking for Lena pancakes. Alex made them, blueberries folded in. Whipped cream smiles drawn on top. When Elena texted at 9:17 Rufus and, wondering if breakfast is still on the table, he replied immediately, bring him. Extra batter waiting. She arrived 30 minutes later with the golden retriever and a bottle of real maple syrup from the farmer's market. Mia and Rufus turned the living room into a joyful disaster zone within minutes. Pancakes were eaten on the tiny balcony, plates balanced on laps. Coffee mugs steaming in the cool air. Elena stayed through lunch, leftover pad thai reheated and shared. Through Mia's nap. Elena curled on the couch with a book while Alex worked quietly at the kitchen table. Through an afternoon of board games that ended in dramatic accusations of cheating, mostly by Rufus, who kept nudging pieces off the table with his nose. Through early evening bad dancing in the living room to Mia's favorite playlist, Elena spinning. Mia in circles. Alex attempting and failing to keep time. Weeks turned into months without fanfare. Elena started leaving a sweater on the back of Alex's couch. Alex learned Rufus's favorite walking route and the exact spot in the park where he liked to chase squirrels. Mia began drawing pictures that included 3 people and 1 very large dog. One evening in early December, after Mia was asleep and the small tree in the corner glowed with white lights, Elena pulled a velvet box from her coat pocket. Inside, a simple silver key on a plain ring. To my place, she said. Whenever you want, both of you. No pressure. Alex took it, turned it over in his palm, then he reached into his own pocket. A matching key. Freshly cut 2 weeks earlier, he placed it in her hand. They exchanged them without ceremony. Just the quiet sound of metal meeting metal. Later they stood at the window, watching the first snowflakes drift past the streetlights. Elena leaned her head on his shoulder. I spent months swiping left and right, looking for someone who'd see. Past the title, past the blazer, past the carefully curated answers, she murmured. Turns out the person who saw me clearest was already in my office, rewriting my terrible bio and laughing at my terrible jokes. Alex kissed the crown of her head. I thought second chances were fairy tales, he said. Then you smiled that night in the office and asked me to take you out. She laughed softly. Technically, I asked you to take me out. Big difference. Semantics? He teased, pulling her closer. They stayed like that, wrapped in each other and the quiet glow of string lights. The dating profile still existed somewhere in the digital ether. Neither had opened it in months. They didn't need to. The real connection lived in the small, ordinary miracles that had quietly accumulated. Saturday mornings thick with pancake, batter, and laughter. Wednesday evenings when Elena arrived with takeout containers and stories from the day. The way Mia now reached for Elena's hand without hesitation when crossing the street. The nights when one of them reached across the couch for the other without needing to speak. The mornings Rufus greeted them all with the same exuberant tail wag. Sometimes the best love stories don't begin with grand declarations or cinematic moments. They begin with a favor asked in a quiet office after everyone else has gone home. A profile rewritten with truth instead of polish. A dog who chases his own tail and flops over every time. A 6-year-old who insists on being chaperone and gets ice cream on her ear. And two people brave enough, terrified enough, hopeful enough to say yes when every safer instinct said no. Outside, the city continued its restless, beautiful pulse. Inside, something steady and real had finally taken root. And for the first time in years, both of them felt like they were exactly where they were supposed to be.